Hey there, guys. So today we have an awesome experiment. This is a beer blends. We're adding two Founders beers, one of my favorite breweries. They really just make consistent, fantastic beers. They always put out something great. And one of the disappointments for me is actually their Rubaeus beer that came out, I guess, July last year. I had it for the first time that year. It didn't really quite hit it for me. The Breakfast Stout is also not quite there for chocolate coffee beers for me. If you go back, you'll see my review with it blind against Wake and Bake. You'll see I like Wake and Bake a lot more, but still, I think this is quite a good beer. So yeah, I thought that these two would blend together. I've heard stories about how they blend together, so I definitely want to check it out. Before they do that, I definitely want to take a sip of this just to see how it is, and if I get reminded of why I didn't like it. Yeah, it just doesn't hit raspberry quite there perfectly for me. It has a wonderful raspberry flavor in the front. You're like, wow, this is gonna taste like, if you guys have New Glarus raspberry tart or some sours, it might have just essence of raspberry. You go, wow, really, this tastes like raspberries. It goes like about a third of the way, half of the way, and then you get this cough syrup kind of flavor. It's not really quite there for me. It doesn't. When I want a raspberry beer, I want the tartness with it to clean off that sugary flavor, to get the essence of a true raspberry. And what it does, it just gives it this cough syrup flavor, candy flavor, sugary kind of flavor, and doesn't really quite work for me. So yeah, that's a disappointment of the beer for me. So yeah, I have about 50-50 mixed into this glass. So yeah, let's dig in this beer. The beer comes in obviously like a lighter color than the base beer, maybe even tinges of red, sort of like the head sort of has this combination of like a pinkish brown. So yeah, very nice. Let's get the aroma on this. Wow. In the front, you're getting smacked again with the coffee. It's not as aggressive as as the Founder's Breakfast would be, but then you're getting this nice sweetness in there too. This pithy seed bitterness that I guess the essence of the raspberry gives. But yeah, again, there's like tinge of sweetness that really balance out that bitterness in the aroma. Yeah, not too fruity though, but yeah, you definitely get some of that coffee. Whoa. Holy smokes, that is a good pairing. Wow. That is a great blend. That is perfect. Wow. That is just everything you want. Um, yeah, I mean, that is just incredible. I'm going to take another sip. Mm. In the front, you hit with the bitter coffee. Like a bit of smooth one, not like a bitter one that the base beer has. It's like a roasted coffee, nice roasted coffee, roasted. It's not like aggressively bitter. It's not like black coffee. And then you get chocolate that plays around with it. Then you get this wonderful wave of sweetness that goes around. The raspberries come through. This like juicy raspberry complements that coffee and the chocolate very well. Then you get this nice amount of again, raspberry essence. For some reason, you don't really taste the pith, or not the pith, the seeds of the raspberry. Like when you bite into a raspberry, it's that juiciness in the skin, gives that sweetness. But then the seeds and everything inside of it gives this like nice, again, bitterness. It sort of like leaves your palate drying. And that's exactly what this beer has that the base beer didn't, or the Rubaeus didn't. I guess the bitterness and the chocolate play into that raspberry, and it gives it that kind of essence of raspberry. So it's crazy to hear, but it tastes more raspberry in the blend than the base beer. It tastes like, yeah, more essence of raspberry, and this is such a perfect pairing because I think you're complementing two beers that have incomplete components. This beer has nice sweetness, but it's lacking on the finish with that sugariness. This beer, has a nice bitterness, but incomplete with a fullness of mouthfeel. Not lacking in slightly, I'd say, in a bit of complexity. It's a bit overly bitter without much of a backbone of something else to back it up. And what happens is that the bitterness is cut from the sweetness. The sweetness is paired with the bitterness to complement this beer. This beer is a bit light, and the high amount of carbonation from this beer complements that. So everything is just going one step another, and they're really just like melding each other at every single level to really make a delicious beer. I mean, how do I describe what it is? A good descriptor would be like raspberry coffee. Yeah, like But like the thing is, the problem is a lot of like artificially flavored coffees don't really have an essence of the actual fruit. So I think it's like maybe almost like a lightly roasted coffee, lightly roasted black coffee, and just muddled some fresh raspberries in there, and you get this wonderful, just wonderful combination of flavors. You also almost get like sort of maybe a raspberry. Um, Candy. So if you've had like those maraschino chocolate covered cherries, that kind of like booziness and the chocolate notes, the chocolate complements that cherry note. That's what the raspberry does. Sort of that kind of similarity. Really great pairing. Wow, I'm really happy that I blended these two beers. I'm definitely gonna check this out again. So let me know what you guys think. This is definitely really delicious. Really highly recommended. Definitely check this out. Until next time, guys. Cheers.